a big story that I want to talk about here is the Titan. If you guys have been following this, the whole world's been following this. As 700 migrants, what was it? Lebanese migrants? Was that who? As 700 migrants come up missing, 5 billionaires dare to go in an unsafe submersive vehicle just to meet their untimely end. Basically, they turned into jelly. I was watching this breakdown of the actual, because they were talking about what would happen to the body in those moments when so the whole craft collapsed into itself, right? And they said that the body probably just turned into a jelly that sort of squeezes out the example they gave was like how Play-Doh goes through like the French fry maker, and their body probably just turned into jelly and shot out of like the small crevices of the Titan. Yeah, the poor migrants, jelly. Yeah, that's what they said, because the underwater pressure, they were about 14,000 feet, I believe, underwater, and the pressure from the water was just insurmountable. Our body can't deal with that. Yellow Submarine. I'm not playing Yellow Submarine. That should be the news, not the billionaire. There's a lot of shit that should have been news. Like Hunter Biden is going to be found guilty for tax evasion. And also Joe Biden was definitely taking money from China and Ukraine. It all came out same time that this darned old billionaire thing came out. Okay, so let's see. So in the midst of all this, we have this dude, one of the stepsons of one of the billionaires, got an actual text from Travis Barker. So let's watch this video.
Consistent with the catastrophic.
Okay, so let's watch this ET video.
Brian Saz shares an alleged DM with Travis Barker just hours before authorities confirmed his stepdad, Hamish Harding,
look at that
was
bow tie.
killed in the
Look at that bow tie. Come on. What is that? Get out of here with that. I want to go back to Germany and permanently live. Well, you know what I found out about Germany? The age of consent is 13. So that's interesting. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys can't see it. Thank you. Didn't know that about Deutschland.
The debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber.
Just days after the 37-year-old made headlines for attending a Blink-182 concert when his stepdad was lost at sea.
Oh, sorry, Morby. Sorry, Morby. I thought it was 13. Dang it, TikTok lied to me again. All right, hold on. So this kid is the stepson of one of the billionaires, and he decided to go to a Blink-182 concert. Now, what are you supposed to do? I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to just melt down and never... If everyone is under 16, it's 14. Okay, I'm sorry, Morby. I'm just trying to find any reason to shit on Germany these days. I'm just kidding. Germany seems like a lovely place, honestly. I think. Get your pedo facts right. Listen, okay, I'm moving on. I'm sorry. Sorry, my Deutschland friends.
Blink-182 concert when his stepdad was lost at sea. He uploaded this screenshot to his Insta story Thursday, claiming it was sent by Travis, the band's drummer, on Monday. The message, praying for you and your family.
Oh, Travis Barker.
Brian told Travis he would be attending Blink's San Diego show that night. He tagged Travis in the alleged screenshot, adding, "Thanks for the love, fam." Just hours later, the U.S. Coast Guard confirmed that searchers discovered debris from the Titan on the ocean floor, about 1,600 feet from the wreckage of the Titanic, which they set out to explore.
We found 5 different major pieces of debris that told us that it was the remains of the Titan.
Travis has not publicly confirmed or denied whether he sent Brian that DM. But Brian got into some hot water for attending Monday's show less than 24 hours after his stepfather was reported missing, as one of 5 passengers that set out to survey the Titanic shipwreck.
Rescue teams picked up underwater noises in the search zone.
Brian's post went viral, with stars like Cardi B weighing in.
One of the billionaires that's missing on the water from that submarine. One of the billionaires, their stepson, is at a concert, right? That's crazy.
Yeah, the rapper didn't hold back.
People is like, well, what is he supposed to do? Be sad at the house? Is he supposed to go look for himself? Yes. You're supposed to be at the house sad. You're supposed to be crying for me. You're supposed to be right next to the phone waiting to hear any updates about me. You're supposed to be counseling your mom and
Well, Brian saw all that and hit back with a video of his own.
Believe it or not, I have about $100 to my name. I can't go out to the ocean. I have a legal situation keeping me here as well. I can't get on a flight. I don't have a passport.
And he explained why he chose to go to the concert.
Excuses.
I go to a Blink-182 show because I have a ticket. It wasn't like I was having super fun. It wasn't like I was celebrating, having a great time. I was kind of just trying to get off the phone for maybe 2 hours or so and come right back into the drama. There's nothing I can do for the situation at all.
Then he addressed Cardi head on, telling her to mind her business.
Her career is in such turmoil, she needs clout off other people's suffering. Grow up, get some class. You're tasteless.
As for the Titan, during a news conference in Boston,
He's like, get some class. He's the stepson of one of the billionaires that died in the actual craft. Cue the violin music. Give this man a break. I honestly feel like I don't have a problem with him going to the Blink-182 concert. Why do you have to put it online? Because if you read the original, let's see, where are we at? 312. If you read the original tweet he puts up, where's the original tweet? Hold on, where is that sumbitch at? We'll just find it. We'll just find it. Hold on. So let's see. His name is Brian. Blink-182 tweet Titan. Let's see if that comes up. Yeah, here we go. So let's see the images. So he wrote, no, Tom, I'm back from the Blink-182 Blink show tonight to comfort me in this time of tragedy. Thanks for the love. But where's the original? Here it is. Here's the original one. Here, this is what he wrote. It might be distasteful being here, but my family would want me to be at the Blink-182 show as it's my favorite band and music helps me in difficult times. Okay. Fair. Music helps. I remember when I was just turned 18, my father got in this horrific accident, and me, my sister, and her boyfriend were supposed to go to this festival for that weekend. And my dad was in the hospital. I mean, my dad never truly recovered from this. And we ended up going to this festival that same weekend. He got ran over on maybe a Wednesday or something. And we ended up going to this festival that weekend. And my mom was like, just go. We got a long... this is going to be a long recovery. Just go get it done because after this, it's going to be hard. And it was hard. It was the hardest for my mother. My God, my mother was such a champion during that time. we didn't have social media then, but like it does seem in poor taste to post something online like I should be, but now I'm going to Blink-182. I don't have a problem with going Blink-182, but why'd you have to make a whole post about it? Like why did you need that kind of attention? That's what I'm like. This is weird. If I was him, I would probably be streaming. Why not, right? Let's get it in. Best day of my hashtag. Best day of my life. Hashtag not a single worry. That would be awesome if it was, though. If that's what all the hashtags were. More options. Reject all. Save and exit. Yeah. So. Everybody hated this guy for a while. Cardi B got involved in the whole situation. It just was a mess. So Cardi B has thoughts about missing Titan sub-billionaire stepsons attending Blink-182 concert. You supposed to be at your house sad. You're supposed to be crying for me. You're supposed to be right next to the phone waiting to hear any updates about me, Cardi shared. And of course, we all care what Cardi has to say. Let's see. Where is I guess we just saw a video on all that stuff, so I guess it doesn't matter. Let's read through this a little bit. Amid the ongoing search to locate the rescue 5 people aboard the Titanic submersible that went missing this week, one of the crew members' stepson came under fire for attending Blink-182 concert in San Diego. Cardi B was one among those who took to social media to share her thoughts on British billionaire Hamish Harding's stepson. Hamish Harding, Morby. There you go. Hamish Harding. So who's Hamish Harding? That sounds like a very UK name. Sounds like a very British name. He's a British pilot. He's a British pilot, adventure space tourist. He's a space tourist. I don't know anyone crying too much. Put on a frog costume in my memory and frolic. Let's go. So this guy is a pilot, adventure, space tourist based on United Arab Emirates. He was the founder of Action Group and chairman of Action Aviation, an international aircraft brokerage company with headquarters in Dubai. Members of the Explorer Club, he visited the South Pole several times, descended into the Mariana Trench, traveled into space, and held several Guinness Book of World Records. Harding died and 4 others inside the submersible that imploded in the North Atlantic Ocean while en route to the wreck of the Titan. So what's interesting is that there's so much behind this. What's interesting is that there's parallels between the Titanic and the Titan, and there's all kinds of like things and rules that the OceanGate, the CEO of OceanGate, the people who put this on, there's all kinds of stuff they skip. So like they were making parallels between the Titanic and Titan because like the guy who designed the Titan was like it's the unsinkable ship and you don't need lifeboats. They weren't even going to put lifeboats on the Titanic. And on this one, I think they only took, it was a 9-hour journey, but they only had 8 hours of air. Like there was things that he's like let's go and actually look at it. And then here's the best part is Virgin Galactic sets a date and announces a crew for first commercial Spaceship 2 flight. So they're about to send more people up into space. Like it's not the same company, it's Virgin. But still, it's just like, what the fuck? These billionaires are just doing their thing. They used no more allowed use plain carbon fiber. Yes, they used a bunch of bullshit, which we should know. The key mistakes. Here we go. This is a video I wanted to watch because this kind of explains where all this stuff is. It's almost comical how many corners they cut. Yeah, it's crazy.
Catastrophic implosion. The unthinkable became all too real this past week as we learned of the fate of undersea explorer Stockton Rush's Titan submersible on its way to the Atlantic grave of the Titanic. The questions, the second-guessing, David Pogue tells us, are likely to continue for a long time to come.
Last summer, A company called OceanGate invited Sunday morning to join an expedition to the Titanic. At the time, I was thrilled.
Next time I come out of this doorway, I'll either be a changed man forever or cursing the bad weather.
As the whole world knows now, OceanGate's business was taking adventure seekers on these Titanic dives
Well, we're sitting on the Titanic. We are on the Titanic.
for $250,000 a ticket on a one-of-a-kind carbon fiber submersible called the Titan.
Carbon fiber is a great material. It's better than titanium. It's better than a lot of other materials.
It's better.
This is Stockton Rush, the CEO of OceanGate and the designer of the sub. Last Sunday, as he was piloting the sub to the Titanic, it imploded, killing him and his 4 passengers.
We spent 9 days at sea with Rush last summer, and in wake of the tragic news, we thought you might like to see more of what we saw and hear more of what Stockton Rush said.
The Titan wasn't like any previous deep-sea submersible. There was no dashboard, just a
It's even better when you use it before the best before date is always.
touchscreen computer and a single power button.
We only have one button. That's it.
Wait a minute, I've seen submersibles, and they are banks of controls, like cockpit after cockpit.
Exactly. This is to other submersibles what the iPhone was to the BlackBerry.
But many of its components seemed surprisingly cheap. For views outside the sub, he had installed store-bought security cameras. As for the ceiling lights,
Store-bought
from Camper World.
Camper
there
World
was the steering unit.
This is the
We
best
run
part.
The whole thing with this game controller.
This is the best part. He was like, hey, we got this Logitech. Yeah, maybe a second, but wouldn't that $1 million have been better used in other ways? Of course, but what else are they going to do with their money but stroke their own ego with it? It's like, I can go to space with my money. Well, I'll go visit the Titanic with my money. And then I'll charge $250,000 for people to rush to their early watery graves. It's very, 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 very rich person-like behavior. Yeah, no camera needed. We have an etch-a-sketch. Yeah, he had a ring cam. He just like stuck a ring cam on the outside of it. Dude, this is my fucking GoPro, bro. My etch-a-sketch. We're just gonna sketch out what we see here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh shit, I made a mistake. Look at. Did you see the dude's?
Seems like a lot of the.
Did you see that dude's fucking reaction? Look at his face. Look at what. Oh!
Come on!
Look at that.
So.
This is what.
It seems like a lot of the.
A Logitech, bro. Look at that. This is what he did. It looks like a slightly modified Logitech controller. That's what we got going on here. That is wild. That is wild.
Fun.
And then there's all these memes now of, oh my god, all the Titan memes. It's so rude. Like, yeah, $10 controller. Well, if you buy it new, it's like $30, Morby. So.
So, it seems like a lot of the way you made this is by taking off-the-shelf parts and sort of MacGyvering them together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Does that not raise anybody's eyebrows in the industry?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely an outlier. There were a lot of rules out there that didn't make engineering sense to me.
Everyone I know keeps asking me the same question. Why would you get on that dangerous sub? Well, first of all, Stockton Rush had the credentials.
He majored in aerospace engineering at Princeton. He designed and flew his own airplanes. He designed previous submersibles. Second, he was emphatic that the important parts of the Titan were rock solid, like the carbon fiber body for which NASA served as a consultant.
There's certain things that you want to be buttoned down, and that's the pressure vessel. Once the pressure vessel is, you're certain it's not going to collapse on everybody, everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can go, you're still going to be safe.
Third, I was convinced by an expert, P.H. Nargelet, the veteran deep-sea explorer who also perished in the Titan. Over the years, he'd been to the Titanic more than just about anyone.
How many times have you been?
With the last dive, 37 times.
You've been to the Titanic 37 times?
Yes. I was in charge of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 subs.
Age like
How
that.
different is the Titan from those other subs?
Completely different. Most of them, you have a sphere.
Was there never a point when you wondered about the safety of the sub at that depth?
No. 2 or 3 years ago, I have a phone call with Stockton, and he explained to me that he was doing a lot of tests. He showed me the ways they were building the stuff. I said, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I have no problem to dive in the sub.
I was also impressed by the sub's 7 redundant systems for returning to the surface.
These are roll weights. We can actually roll this up and those come off. That gains us some buoyancy to come back to the surface. Okay. These triple weights, we call them, are hydraulically driven.
Expedition manager Kyle Bingham.
Underneath this tray hang these bags. We're around 35 pounds. And those hang down there. Typical dive will have 8 of them. We can also use our...
Same old, what's up, baby boy? This is what you get when you get frugal billionaires try to save that Geico money with your life insurance. My bad, I meant Pazard. Yeah, no, it's true. Like, we were just watching it. He bought like a overhead light from like the Home Goods, and he got like some Target brand cameras on the outside. He's like, this will do. This is fine. What did he say? He said, we take this industry makes too many does too much or something. He's like, we gotta reduce this. So he really did try to like cut corners. It was kind of shady what was going on.
Thrusters, we have enough power to thrust back up. And then under this last fairing here, we have our variable ballast tank, or soft ballast. It's an air bladder that we use a big 10,000 PSI air tank that's under the tail to fill that up, fill it with air, and then it helps bring us to the surface.
There were even sandbags that detach automatically after about 16 hours, even if everyone inside had passed out. Their connectors would dissolve in seawater.
So you have a backup of a backup of a backup of a backup of a backup.
Correct.
All stations are reporting. Go, please stand by.
Finally, the crew seemed to foster a culture of safety.
Yo, James Cameron did come out. He did a whole interview about this.
There were checklists, inspections before and after every dive, and a 3 strikes rule. If 3 things seemed out of the ordinary, no matter how minor, they'd cancel the dive. I learned that the hard way on our own dive.
We're in the water, we're
Oh
floating.
my God, what if
At this point, divers are supposed to detach the sub from its launch platform.
So apparently those floats there came off the platform, and that wasn't supposed to happen.
So we're scrubbing?
Yeah, I think that's the consensus up here.
Copy that.
I never did see the Titanic, and I wasn't unusual. In OceanGate's first 2 summers of Titanic operations, it spent a total of 50 days floating above the shipwreck site. But because of waves, bad weather, and malfunctions, the Titan actually made it to the Titanic only 12 times. But through it all, Stockton Rush defended his unconventional approach.
I mean, anything when you're trying something outside the box, people inside the box think you're nuts. Same thing when Elon Musk was doing SpaceX. Inside the box, everything's scary.
But as early as 2018, there was concern about the Titan's design. A former employee says that when he raised safety concerns, Rush fired him. That same year, a group of submersible engineers urged Rush to seek certification of the Titan by a safety agency. Rush declined, saying that regulation would stifle innovation.
At some point, safety just is pure waste. I mean, if you just want to be safe, don't get out of bed, don't get in your car, don't do anything. At some point, you're going to take some risk, and it really is a risk-reward question. I said, I think I can do this just as safely by breaking the rules.
So
he said safety just fucking gets in the way. Safety gets in the famous last word. Safety gets in the fucking way.
Titan by a safety agency. Rush declined, saying that regulation would stifle innovation.
At some point, safety just is pure waste.
Pure waste.
If you just want to be safe, don't get out of bed. Don't get in your car.
Don't
do anything.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to take some risk, and it really is a risk-reward question. I said, I think I can do this just as safe.
Listen, if you guys are worried about safety, don't get out of bed. Don't go for a walk. Don't eat the bagel, the everything bagel, because you might get a seed stuck in your lungs, and you'll develop an infection in your lungs, and you'll die of lung infection from your everything bagel. Don't go to the bathroom because you might slip, fall, and hit your head. Just hold it or wet yourself. It's better. It feels good. It's warm. Fuck safety is what I'm trying to say. Hey, spoiler for Spider-Man, a bagel can ruin your life. I haven't seen it yet, so don't ruin my bagel time.
By breaking the rules.
So, Captain McLaren, have you spent much time in submarines?
David, my total time under the water, divorced from the outside atmosphere, is a little over 5 3/4 years. No kidding. Fact.
Retired U.S. Navy submarine captain Alfred McLaren.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cancel safety first in testing. Fuck safety. I hate it. I hate safety. Money doesn't make you wise. No, it doesn't. And you know what else doesn't make you wise? Education does not make you wise. I mean, it can help, but I've met a lot of educated dumb people in my life. People who have master's degrees, and they're very good at a very specific thing, but then they just are terrible at everything else. So this weird thing that society does is put people who have money or who are very educated up on this pedestal, and we shouldn't. We shouldn't, you know what I mean? It's the type of thing where, people won't question their doctor because, well, they're the doctor. They went to school for all that time. And doing your own research is apparently a dumb thing to do. You shouldn't be doing your own research. So just trust everything that people say to you because they are educated. And anyways, I met this girl who was so dumb, but she was like a genius at a certain thing. So she was considered a genius at one certain thing, but she was just so stupid. She was so stupid, but she was very, very hot. So whatever. I'm sure that girl is doing much better. I'm sure she owns property on the beach in California. Whereas now I'm going to buy property in the hood because I failed life. I chose music. I chose the arts. Stupid idiot. Common sense is almost extinct. I agree. Having quite an icky day so far, but glad to be here finally. Hope things are going better on the other side of the ocean, my brother. Well, he's in California, so, better than all of us. Same-o.
McLaren is not impressed by OceanGate's innovations.
I mean, would you fly in an airplane that somebody excitedly told you, well, it's going to be a lot cheaper because we found a new way of attaching the wings? Yeah, right.
He theorizes that the Titan failed not because it was made of carbon fiber, but because it was made of 3 dissimilar materials: carbon fiber, titanium, and plexiglass for the porthole.
When you have different materials, different molecular structure, they have different coefficients of expansion and compression, and then you make repeated cycles in depth, of course you're going to work that seal loose. And that's why submarines don't run around with any portholes at all, come to think of it. It's a weak point.
I think there's a great, almost surreal irony here, which is Titanic sank because the captain took it full steam into an ice field at night
James
on
Cameron.
a moonless night with very poor visibility, after he had been repeatedly warned by telegram, by Marconigram.
In an interview with Anderson Cooper, filmmaker and veteran Titanic diver James Cameron pointed out a sad parallel between Stockton Rush and the captain of the Titanic.
The arrogance and the hubris that sent that ship to its doom is exactly the same thing that sent those people in that sub to their fate.
The world mourns the loss of Stockton Rush, P.H. Nargeolet,
Do we?
and their 3 passengers,
Whoever they
billionaire
are.
Hamish
Oh.
Harding, Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood, and his son Suleiman.
Already, there's talk of restrictions and regulations and lawsuits. Will the OceanGate disaster mean fewer people going adventuring?
Will it?
Well, every year people do die skydiving and scuba diving and climbing Mount Everest. Tragic every time, and yet people still keep coming. Some people just have that itch. For them, danger is the point. The risk of dying gives meaning to living. I think Stockton Rush was among them.
I wanted to be sort of the Captain Kirk. I didn't want to be the passenger in the back. And I realized that the ocean is the universe. That's where life is.
Sorry for their family. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. And when you see all these like old interviews with this dude who just couldn't get past his own asshole, and it's like, no, this will be fine. It makes it even worse because you know that this could have been preventable. It's always worse. Let's read these comments. I'm sure there's some. Anyone who had done research on maritime accidents would know this accident is insultingly avoidable. Insultingly? I don't know. I'm a fucking dummy. Yeah, it was avoidable, wasn't it? Titan Submersible was in our university for maintenance. I saw it in person, checked its parts, took some pictures, and asked questions to the staff. The thing is, nobody foresee such disaster. I'm a second-year naval architect student. I took courses including material processing and ship hull geometry. All my professors seem confident about what they do all the time, and none of them showed any. Okay, that's boring. This is extremely frustrating. When Rush said people who think outside the box are called crazy, I do actually agree with him, but there's a difference between innovating and ignoring science. He ignored the science and thought he knew better. That's where a man's ego becomes dangerous. There's no other word for him. He's a criminal. Well, I guess you can trying them. So here's what James Cameron's talking on it.
James Cameron, diver, explorer, director of The Abyss, a deep-sea thriller, and most famously, of course, Titanic as well as many other great films. James, I appreciate you joining us. Someone who's devoted his life to...
I'm gonna go pee real quick, guys. I heard that they employed fresh off uni engineers because they're more experienced. Stated they're considered. Oh god. Anybody, they'll just try and cut corners wherever they can. Okay, I'm gonna put on a video. You know what? Let's finish this before I do. I want to make sure that this is all one thing. So we'll finish this story before I go pee.
Exploration as you have in many ways under the sea. I'm wondering what is going through your mind tonight.
Well, thanks, Anderson. I mean, obviously, we're all kind of heartsick from the outcome of this. And I've been living with it for a few days now, as some of my other colleagues in the deep submergence community. I was out on a ship myself when the event happened on Sunday. The first I heard of it was Monday morning. I immediately got on my network because it's a very small community in the deep submergence group, and found out some information within about a half hour that they had lost comms and they had lost tracking simultaneously. The only scenario that I could come up with in my mind that could account for that was an implosion, a shockwave event so powerful that it actually took out a secondary system that has its own pressure vessel and its own battery power supply, which is the transponder that the ship uses to track where the sub is. So I was thinking implosion then. That's Monday morning. I got on the horn again with some other people, tracked down some intel that was probably of a military origin, although it could have been research, because there are hydrophones all over the Atlantic. and got confirmation that there was some kind of loud noise consistent with an implosion event. That seemed to me enough confirmation that I let all of my inner circle of people know that we had lost our comrades. And I encouraged everybody to raise a glass in their honor.
Raise a glass in their honor? He just killed 5 people. He just killed these people. I don't know, man. It seemed like he was just running off hubris and money and just didn't think it through. Doesn't seem like the wise thing to do. Maybe it was the Tolkien from Black Panther 2. the Talokin. Maybe it was. Hold on, let's see. How is this about to look? What the hell is that? I swear to God, that TV's loud. Okay, what was I gonna look up? There was something I was gonna look up. Oh! I want to see if I saved that video from TikTok, because I saw a TikTok where they were talking about what actually probably happened.
Breaking news.
Oh my God! Sorry, guys.
540 counts of CP.
Oh my God. What is this? Disney cast member has been arrested for CP. Uh-oh. I have not been posting anything lately on my TikTok. I've just been working. All right, let's see. No, let's see. Did any of that Titan tragedy. This is James Cameron talking about it. There's this weird thing with Britney Spears.
So you see her hands go above her face once. Watch when they come back down.
Boom. It's not Britney Spears.
I wanted to post screenshots of the AI filter coming off so people could see for a bit longer just how insane this is.
So you see her hands go above her face once. Watch when they come back down.
I wanted to post screenshots of the AI filter.
So they're using AI to post stuff for Britney. Just so you guys know what's going on out there. I guess I didn't get it. That sucks. The heel. Damn it, I wish I could find it, because they talk about what would happen to the people on the ship. Oh well, we'll just listen to Cameron.
Then I watched over the ensuing days this whole sort of everybody running around with their hair on fire search, knowing full well that it was futile, hoping against hope that I was wrong, but knowing in my bones that I wasn't. And so it certainly wasn't a surprise today. And I just feel terrible for the families that had to go through all these false hopes that kept getting dangled, as it played out.
I just want to you said it was on Monday that you learned of these listening devices under the water had picked up the sound of an implosion, or what was believed to be an implosion.
Yeah, that's as it came to me. Now that's hearsay, multiple. They were credible sources, right. So I took that as a.
Your credible sources are boring.
Comms and navigation at the same time, and stayed out of touch, and did not surface. I was also told, and I...
All right, well, there you go. And then, of course, so here's the 5 things, the 5 mistakes. The 5 passengers on board the missing sub are presumed dead. OceanGate, the firm... Here are the 5 takeaways of what they did wrong. The hull was made out of carbon fiber. So we went over that. Concerns of early warning system were ignored. OceanGate touted its development of an advanced acoustic monitoring system. The technology was designed to warn of a failure in the hull in time to do something about it. But in his 2018 analysis, Lockridge warned the detection system was effectively useless. It would only provide milliseconds of warning before a catastrophic implosion according to the court filing. Oh shit, that's crazy. So back in 2007, they knew this was going to happen. OceanGate declined to follow his recommendation of non-destructive testing on the hull to ensure it was a solid and safe product for its safety of the passengers and crew, Lockridge's lawsuit said. The firm told Lockridge that the Titan's hull was too thick to scan for weak spots and adhesion issues, as previously reported by Insider. It's unclear if the pilots concerned were ever addressed and whether OceanGate later ran the tests he recommended. OceanGate declined to comment on the 2018 letter when approached by the New York Times. OceanGate pushed back its call against calls to certify the sub. It's possible that the ship never passed a strict industry standard safety testing, and indeed, in 2019, it argued that it did not need to. David Pogue, a journalist who boarded the Titan in 2020, said that he signed a waiver stating this experimental vessel has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body. So that was the guy we were just watching on Sunday morning, CBS. It is possible that the ship was certified since then, though no evidence has emerged that it was. In his court filings, Lockridge, which we should probably back up and find out who this court filing stuff was. The Titan was made up of two titanium domes joined together by 5-inch thick cylinder of carbon fiber. This was unconventional choice for a deep sea submersible, which would usually be the hull made of stronger material like steel titanium per the Telegraph. Where's this lawsuit coming? A series of mistakes preceded the Titan submersible doom. Okay, the 5 passenger. Now questions are being asked. OceanGate has been warned about the safety risks. Per the file, okay, here's where the filing comes in. Per the filing, former OceanGate employee David Lockridge raised concerns about pressure cycling, whereby invisible flaws in the hull could lead to larger tears after being subjected to repeated pressure changes. OceanGate's CEO Stockton Rush said in an interview 2 years ago that he knew he had broken some rules by foregoing conventional materials. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me, carbon fiber and titanium. There's a rule that you don't do that, he said in a 2021 interview with Mexican YouTuber Alan Estrada. Well, I did. 2018 statement from OceanGate said the Titan had completed a 4,000 meter dive, which completely validates OceanGate's innovative engineering and construction. Okay. So they just been on their own shit this whole time. That's wild. That's fucking wild. So in his court filing, Lockridge, who was the former employee of OceanGate, Lockridge reported finding that the vessel's front viewport has only certified to a depth of 4,200 feet, 1,300 meters, far less than the depth of the Titanic. The paying passengers would not be aware and would not be informed of this experimental design, Lockridge's lawyer says. The company approach to certification was raised by the professional trade group, the Marine Technology Society, in 2018 letter. The society flagged that the company website said the vessel design would meet or exceed a certification called DNVGL, a gold standard industry certification from Norwegian Foundation Det Norske. But it didn't appear the company had sought out to follow rules, the Marine Technology Society noted in its letter. So, yeah, and we saw that he was like, rules just get in the way. OceanGate staff raised safety fears but were dismissed or ignored. Lockridge did not fare well after raising safety concerns about the submersible. A day after filing his safety report, he was summoned to a meeting with Rush and the company's human resources. Per the lawsuit, during the meeting, Lockridge was fired and removed from the building. Lockridge claimed he was discharged in retaliation for being a whistleblower and sued the company that year per TechCrunch. OceanGate claimed Lockridge had shared confidential information with external actors and characterized his report as false, accusing him of fraud in the lawsuit, the report said. Lockridge was not the only one to leave the company over concerns about safety. Rob McCollum, an explorer and former consultant for OceanGate, left in 2009 partly over concerns its CEO was overpromising and rushing production insider previous. Wow, since 2009. That's crazy. Speaking to insider, okay. There were previous safety incidents. This isn't the company's first time dealing with issues with its submersible. According to the court documents obtained by the New York Times, a 2021 trip on the Titan was interrupted after battery issues led to the ship having to be manually attached to its lifting platform. Pogue, the journalist that went on the Titan in 2022, also reported that the vessel got lost for several hours while he was on the mothership. They could still send short texts to the sub, but did not know where it was, Pogue said. It was quiet and very tense, and they shut off the ship's internet to prevent us from tweeting. When reached by Insider for comment on Wednesday, Pogue said that the OceanGate told passengers that it shut off the Wi-Fi to free up bandwidth in case the situation developed into emergency. Pogue also revealed that the craft lacked emergency location transmitter, which would emit signals that allow rescuers to find it. OceanGate did not immediately respond to the request by Insider. So there you go. A little bit more on what they got wrong. I believe that there was no other forms of communication other than being able to use like their Wi-Fi signal. So like you're supposed to have like radio, I think. There was a lot of things that was missed on this. So this is like a really sad situation. And of course we have our 700 migrants that was missed. Around 350 Pakistanis were on a migrant boat that sank 3 days ago. And so while all this is going on, we have Pakistanis who are drowning and sinking. Around 350 Pakistanis were on a migrant boat that sank off Greece, and many still missing, officials say. Pakistan's interior minister said Friday that an estimated 350 Pakistanis were on board an overcrowded fishing boat carrying migrants that sank off of Greece last week, and many remain missing and may have died in one of the deadliest incidents in the central Mediterranean Sea. I mean, they shot at my friends from school. They fled to Germany. When they fled to Germany, fuck her. Well, damn, that's fucked up. Interior Minister Rana Khan told lawmakers in the National Assembly that an estimated 700 migrants were on the boat that when it sank June 14th, only 104 people, including 12 Pakistanis, were rescued and 82 bodies have been recovered. The total of people on the ship has not been confirmed. Khan said many of the missing Pakistanis are feared dead. So far, 281 families have contacted the government saying their sons or dear ones might have been among those who were on the boat. Khan's comments shocked the lawmakers, who appeared distressed as he spoke. It was the first time a senior official has reported that so many Pakistani citizens were missing since the boat's sinking. Officials are currently collecting DNA samples from people who say their relatives were on the vessel to help in the identification of the bodies. God, that's fucking sad, man. That is so sad. It's like, I mean, fuck our world. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being wealthy, but it is when it's like when you use your wealth to try to keep other people from, gaining wealth as well. Like I feel like the elite are actively trying to keep people from, living their best lives. because it'll take away money from them, and they don't want to share it. The EU for sure got blood on their hands. Yeah, they do. So do we. I think most countries do have blood on their hands. I think in order to sort of, to even be a country, you sort of had to like wedge your way in anyways. So like, I think every country has their dark side. We all know that. That's how it works, right? I mean, when you look at what kind of hate is between like the Turkish and the Pakistani, like seeing some of those videos of them talking on, was it Google? What is that? It's like chat roulette, but it's the new Google, whatever it's called. It's like they just say the rudest shit to each other, man. I mean, just hate is just everywhere. And people are just silly everywhere. Okay, that's quite a nice thing to end this segment on. So thank you to Cardi B and Blink 182 for getting involved in this fun story that we got to explore a little. I'm going to go pee-pees.